Washington's given the green light for Ukraine's pilots to be trained in using F-16 fighter jets. The U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan officially confirmed the decision, saying the training will begin once European allies are ready to do it.
The president has given a green light, and we will allow, permit, support, facilitate, and in fact provide the necessary tools for Ukrainians to begin being trained on F-16s as soon as the Europeans are prepared.
While Washington says it's waiting for Europe to get set, European allies themselves have said they had been waiting on Washington. The U.S. State Department has to formally sign off on the request to transfer instruction manuals, flight simulators, and other materials associated with the fighter jets. Well, the move over the F-16 fighters comes as Ukraine's much-vaunted counteroffensive continues to falter. According to the New York Times, Kiev lost 20% of Western-supplied equipment in just the first 2 weeks of its efforts to push the Russian military back. That forced Ukrainian officials essentially to admit the counteroffensive is not significantly advancing. Well, Western-supplied aid to Ukraine has failed to be the game-changer in the conflict that many promised it would be, with Kiev's forces failing to achieve any results on the battlefield in their counter-offensive. That is according to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Our troops are performing heroically. Unexpectedly for the enemy, they are going on the offensive in some areas and taking the most advantageous and elevated positions there. All attempts by the enemy to break through our defenses, and this is a task with the use of strategic reserves, have not been successful during their entire offensive. The enemy is failing.
And that is a sentiment largely echoed by the CEO of the Berg Associates risk management firm, Laurie Johnson, who doesn't believe the supply of F-16 fighters to Ukraine will have much of an impact in the conflict.
It is in harmony with what the United States has been doing all along for the last 18 months. The F-16s represent a change in the technology from the standpoint they are capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. So Russia has a legitimate reason to be concerned about those and should be taking steps to destroy them. The F-16 is not going to change anything fundamentally on the battlefield. It is not going to alter the course of the war. And the pilots that they want to train to be, very capable and competent to operate the aircraft, it's going to be at least 6 months. If Russia continues doing what it's doing and the Ukrainians continue to lose troops and material in such massive numbers, I'm not sure there's even going to be a Ukraine left by January.